All right, we'll get started out of respect for your time, and we'll talk about PGA Junior League. Thank you for joining me here on this Zoom call. My name is John Dipollina, Director of Golf here at Lyman Orchards, and we're kicking off our fall campaign for PGA Junior League. I'm going to have a little slide presentation for you, so it'll be easy for you to follow along. If you have any questions along the way, there is a chat feature here. Feel free to type in a question in the chat. I'm going to try to answer those questions at the very end. If you have something of urgent question, you can always chime in. Just unmute and chime in. But usually I traditionally try to hold it till the end. If you don't want to jump on and share your thought, you can always email me. I left my email address in the chat as well. So I'm going to share my screen now. And, we will get started. All right, can everybody see that share of the screen there? Okay, very good. All right, so this is fall 2022 here at Lyman Orchards. And this is the agenda of what we'll be talking about this evening. We'll talk a little bit about the history of the program here at Lyman and how it's grown. I'll introduce you to the coaching staff for both 13U and 17U. For those of you that don't have the MyPGA app, I'll talk to you about how you can get that and how we utilize that for all the communication going forward after this day. There'll be a 13U schedule page, a 17U schedule page. I'll put up another chart, which team is my child on. This is very specific for the 13U kids especially. I'll talk about match format for those of you that aren't familiar with PGA Junior League, parental involvement. I'll talk about the jerseys and the gifts for the kids that don't have their jerseys already from spring, and then question and answer. So first I'll talk about this history of this program. I'm really proud to say this is our 5th year here at Lyman Orchards doing PGA Junior League. We resurrected this program in 2018 with 23 kids, and after that, it's grown like wildfire, and I have to thank all of you, obviously, to help this program grow. Last year, we ended the year with about 192 kids that came through the program, and that is the spring, summer, and fall combined. This year, we're going to just top that mark. We're looking at about 200, and we're pretty much maxed out at that 200. But we're really, really proud of that number that we've gotten there. We're the largest program in the state of Connecticut. I'm pretty sure we'll be the largest program in the state of Connecticut.
You want some tinfoil to sprinkle up too?
See if we can't just mute that. I muted it. Okay. The largest program in the state of Connecticut. This will be a 4th year in a row. And last year we happened to be the 7th biggest program in the country, the biggest program on the East Coast, which was something I definitely didn't dream of when I started this program back in 2018. And it's pretty exciting, and I have you guys to thank. This is the coaching staff for the fall. There'll be 5 coaches. 4 will be head coaches on the team with the 13U program. 2 will be head coaches of the team with the 17U program. Upper left, Dan Hannibal. He's been with me for 4 years now. He is basically my right-hand man when it comes to junior golf here at Lyman Orchards. He's been a tremendous ambassador for PGA Junior League. Alex Cavalieri, bottom left. He's definitely our youngest professional. He's only 22 years old, and he came to us from Penn State University. He's a PGA member. By the end of the month of September, he'll officially get his accreditation, and he'll be heading the 13U team as well as a 17U team. Jason Goblick, PGA member, upper right. He has a son who's in our program, and he really enjoys working with all the kids. He's a tremendous instructor. He just won Connecticut Section PGA Player Development Award for 2022, and he actually just qualified for the PGA Senior National Championship today. He qualified, finished in 2nd place, and he'll be competing in, I believe, New Mexico in a couple months. Sienna Fucci down below there. She is, this is her 1st year with our program, absolute asset to the program, tremendous role model to all of the students, so specifically young ladies. This is a girl who played a lot of golf as a kid, played not PGA Junior League, but she did other programs, and she just has a love for PGA Junior League, just like I do. And there I am, bottom right. I'll be heading a 7 to 17U program. as well as helping out with the 13U program on a regular basis. Downloading the PGA app. So those of you that have already done this, thank you for doing it. If you haven't done it, I challenge you to do it this evening. It's a free app, and this is the way the coaches are going to communicate with you throughout the season. So if there was inclement weather and we had to cancel one of the 2 practices, or if we had a match that we need to postpone for inclement weather, that's what we would use to relay to all of you. Basically, it's a chat forum. The other reason we use this is so that we know who's coming to the matches and who's not. So you'll basically RSVP, there's an RSVP function, so that we know who's coming. One of our goals as coaches is to respect your time. So we want to give you an exact time that your son or daughter is going to play. We don't want to tell you to come at 8, even though we know that little Johnny's not going to tee off till 9:10. So we want to give you an exact time. We ask for you to come at least 15 minutes before that time. There's balls set up on the range for your sons and daughters to hit. And that's why we have that RSVP feature. The night before the matches, we'll send out a message saying exactly what time your son or daughter will play. And we can send that out even earlier if everybody RSVPs in advance. So I challenge you to utilize that function. Obviously, this app will show you which team you're assigned to. It's going to have the schedule of events throughout the year. It'll tell you the jersey color that your son or daughter will be wearing to that match that day. It'll have the entire roster of kids that are on his or her team. There's the messaging and chat feature that I mentioned prior. There's an actual area where you can upload photos and videos. So while you're out there and you're taking pictures of the kids, if you had a great picture, you can upload it and share with the rest of the team. There'll be some news. Sometimes I share some news. Last year we had a hole-in-one in one of our matches, so I wanted to share that, and I shared that in the news area. And then the push notifications, please don't turn those off. The reason I ask you not to turn them off is that's my way of sending you a message to remind you to sign up, tell us if you're coming or not coming. That's really important. We try to utilize the app 99% of the time. Once in a great while, I will email something out, but for the most part, I try to use the app. 13U schedule. So practices are either on Tuesday or Thursday or Wednesday or Friday, depending on which team you're on. Some of you requested Tuesday, Thursday. Some of you requested Wednesday, Friday. You'll see shortly that I tried to accommodate all of those. I might have missed 1 or 2. If I did, let me know. I'll try to change teams for you. But that's really difficult because then I have to pull another kid off of a different team. But I did try to get everybody's. I think I had about 30 something requests. So I hope that I was able to get everyone. If the practice is rained out, it'll be rescheduled by your individual coach. So we'll let that coach decide on when that next practice will be. We only have the 2 practices. Those practices are basically get to know you practices. Many of the kids in the program have been coming off of playing spring and summer. Very few haven't played at all, but we still have those 2 introductory practices just to get everybody accustomed to the team and the format of the way we run the program. Matches, all practice times are scheduled for 5:30 p.m. as well. They're from 5:30 p.m. till about 7:15 p.m. That's when we run out of light. Matches are on Saturday mornings. So the matches will start approximately either 8 a.m. or 9:20, depending on which team you're on. So if you're on Team Sienna, for instance, you will tee off from 8:10, 8:20, 8:30, 8:40, 8:50, 9, 9:10. You'll be in one of those times. If there is a certain time that you really need, let's just say you're heading out of town, but you wanted to play on the earlier side, contact your coach. He or she will do their very best to accommodate that request. Know that the requests are very difficult when a lot of people are requesting, but we do our very best. So that is an option for you. There's a total of 6 guaranteed matches. We will have these matches. So if week 1 gets rained out, we'll just kick the can down the road and play a mid-October match. If two get rained out, we'll play a late October match. I hope we don't go into November because it can get pretty crispy in the morning in November, but we will have 6 matches. I talked about the match times are in that range of 8 to 10:30 a.m. for the starting time. The final match of the year is scheduled for October 15th, and it's followed by a complimentary continental style breakfast, which it's our way of saying thank you. It's our way of getting everybody under the patio area. And if you want to talk to us about, the winter programming that we offer here at Lyman Orchards for your son or daughter, that's a great time to start talking to the coaches. 17U. 17U is a little bit different. The practices are actually on 2 different days, Thursday the 8th and Thursday the 15th, 5:30 to 7:15 p.m. as well. That will be held at the Jones and Player course. I tinkered with having it here at the Apple 9, but it'll be at Jones and Player course. If the practice is rained out, it'll be rescheduled by me as I'm the main coach there. Matches are a little different. They're a shotgun start. This shotgun start begins at 7:30 sharp. That means we're teeing the ball up at 7:30. So I asked the parents to have these kids here no later than 7:15 in the morning. I know it's early, but one of the benefits that we have here is, playing morning golf for kids is almost obsolete in the business. Most courses laugh at this idea. Those times are reserved for adults generally, players that have been playing for years. What I've been able to talk to our general manager about is allowing these kids to play either the back nine of the Jones course or the back nine of the Player course, and that means they can play that 9 holes before those regular players that tee it up at 6 in the morning make the turn. I'm very appreciative of what they do for us at the Jones and Player course. So that's why we're able to get these kids out there at the exact same time, 7:30 start. The final match of the year won't be on the Jones and Player. It'll be at the Apple 9. It'll be on October 22nd here at the Apple 9, barring any rainouts. And that'll also coincide with a special breakfast for just the 17U kids. Format of play. So for those of you that have not had your kids play in PGA Junior League, it's very introductory competition. What it is a 2-player scramble. So me and Dan would tee off. I'll hit the ball in the woods. Dan will hit a ball on the front of the green. We'll go to Dan's ball where we'll both putt. Dan will putt and knock it to 4 feet. I knock mine to 1 inch. We're going to take the 1 inch and we're going to tap that in for a 3. That's how this is played. It takes the edge off of playing your own ball. Playing your own ball can be very frustrating at a beginner to intermediate level. I mean, you can think about how frustrating it can be for us adults playing the game sometimes. So this takes the edge off. It also turns the game into a team game, which is something that's very special to PGA Junior League. Golf has never been a team game. Now, when I grew up, and not really even today, and PGA Junior League is turning it into a team game. These kids, even the most accomplished kids playing golf, they love the team aspect because they're high-fiving and they're hooting and hollering. And not only are they part of this 2-player team that's going out, but they're also part of a larger team that's trying to win their match. All players will need their own clubs, balls, etc. There's no sharing of clubs. A lot of kids will have their own push carts. I highly recommend that. If you don't have one, we can order one. If you don't want to order one, you can rent one. If you want your kid to carry their clubs like my son does, that's fine too. But push carts have been extremely helpful. I've noticed that. Each match is scored in 3-hole flags. So the first match for your sons and daughters is hole 1, 2, and 3. Let's just say that they have a terrible first 3 holes and they lose the first 3 holes. That's 1 point that they lost. On hole 4, they start a new match. So 4, 5, and 6 is a new point. Let's say they had a great time and they demolished the other team 4, 5, and 6. Well, now it's 1-1 because they lost the first point and won the second point. And now it's time for holes 7, 8, 9, which are worth that 3rd point. What this does is it gives the kids a fresh perspective. If they have one bad hole, it's not going to really hurt their round too much. And it always keeps them positive, which I think is a very important aspect of the program. All matches for 13U are going to be here at the Apple 9 course. And the juniors will be placed at the green tees, the yellow tees, or the orange tees based on their experience level. We have a lot of beginner players here, and we want them to play from where they're going to have the best success from. But we also don't want to hold back some of those kids that have been with us for 3, 4 years. So the coaches know based on those kids, how accomplished they are, and we'll tell them which tees they can go to. If they start excelling at those tees, we can graduate them up from green to yellow or from yellow to orange. But we want to make sure that the kids are succeeding. And that's why we usually start players from the green or the yellow tees week 1. 17U matches, all except the final week, as I mentioned earlier, are held on the Jones and Player courses. it's a big challenge up there on the Jones and Player course. It's a big leap from Apple 9. So they will play from the red. The girls play from the red tees. The boys play from the gold tees. Occasionally, some of the boys will play from the gold tees as well, just because it's just too much distance for them graduating from the Apple 9 up to the Jones and Player course. Parent involvement. One of the best parts about this program is we really want you involved. We want you to attend all the matches. If you'd like to walk the golf course on the perimeter, you're more than welcome to. If you need to rent a golf cart, we have a lot of senior citizens, basically grandparents, coming out there and watching. Or maybe there's parents that just don't want to walk. It's their Saturday and they just want to rent the cart and have the family ride along with them. That's fine. It's $9 to rent the cart at Apple. I believe it's 10 on the Jones Player course. Like I said, parents are encouraged to follow along in the perimeter of the course, cart path specifically, or in the high rough area with the cart. We don't allow the carts out into the fairways, and we don't allow the parents to carry the clubs for the kids. The kids have to walk the golf course, so they will either carry their clubs or push them in a push cart. But kids are not allowed to ride. Parents are not allowed to caddy. I know that seems a little harsh to some of you. You might think, hey, why I can't even help my kid. The truth is, you'll slow your kid down. And like I said, I have a 7-year-old who was in this program, my 7-year-old Nicholas, and so many times I wanted to help him out. But you're really just going to slow him down. Let them thrive. Let them learn the hard way. Let them hit a ground ball. It's okay if they pick 6-iron when they really should be picking driver off the tee. They will learn. They kind of will learn the hard way. But we ask you to stay hands off, enjoy the day, enjoy watching your son or daughter play golf out there. But we do actually have you do one thing. We do actually have you help find balls. So occasionally there'll be a lost ball, or the kid just wasn't paying attention and forgot where his ball is. Help the kids find their ball. But after that, we ask you to stay hands off. Less is more. Reminder at the very bottom there, all immediate family is encouraged to attend that closing day banquet. It's not just for the kids. We want the parents and we want the brothers and sisters to come as well. Jerseys and gifts. So every child who's in PGA Junior League is going to get jerseys kind of like these right here with your name on it and your favorite number. Some of the kids already got theirs because they participated in spring and summer, but some didn't, and they're right here waiting for you. If you've signed up more than 2 weeks ago, I have your jersey already. It's sitting on ice here, waiting for me to give it to you for your first practice. If you've signed up inside the past 2 weeks, they'll be coming. Hopefully we get them by match number 1. If not, we'll just have you wear a blue shirt or an orange shirt that day. But one of the touches that they had this year that's amazing is the fact that your son or daughter has their last name on the jersey with their favorite number. It's really cool. It's a really nice added touch. Also, you'll be getting the little drawstring backpack for the kids. For them to carry their stuff around the golf course. They'll be getting a bag tag, which you can kind of see in the background of my screen. There's also a hat or visor, whatever you chose when you register. That's pretty much it. I don't want to go too into it. I'll leave this open for questions. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out now. I'd be happy to help you out, obviously. And if I can figure out how to stop sharing, there we go. I will answer any questions that you have. If you have any questions, remember you're going to have to unmute your screen. I think everybody's muted. And if there's no questions, that's fine too. I don't have a problem with that. I will obviously be uploading this to YouTube. So if you forgot something, you can always go to YouTube and check it out. I'm going to be emailing everybody the YouTube link very shortly so that they can have it, because I know a lot of people couldn't make it to the meeting here tonight. Will you email the 13U which day? Oh, I know what I never did. I'm so sorry. I never put this up. I never shared with you I never shared the team that your kids are on. So that's kind of important. Let me share that screen. All right, there it is. So this is the roster of what team your kids are on. I'll leave that up for a minute so you can kind of see it there. Unfortunately, it's not in alphabetical order, but the 13U kids are in tan/orange. The 17U, the older kids, are in light blue. 17U is kind of easy. Everything meets at the same time on the same day. But 13U will be a little bit different, as you can see there. All right, I have to go back to the chat feature, so I'm gonna have to stop sharing this. I just want to make sure everybody has the last chance to find where their son or daughter is there. And I will email this file as well. All right, here we go. Will you email the 13U which day they are? Yes, you will also see it in the app, and you'll see it in that file that I just shared on the screen. At the very top, it said Tuesday, Thursday, or Wednesday, Friday. Do both parents need to sign into the app? You've already found one of the flies in the ointment. This app, unfortunately, only allows you one access point. I don't think it allows two people to have two accounts to log in. You'll either have to share credentials, or you're gonna have to share credentials. This is unfortunately something that's not as good as the app last year. Last year's app was better because I could add a legal guardian and it was pretty easy. Unless they've changed it, I'm not sure, but in spring and summer, unfortunately, you weren't able to do that. You had to share the credentials. Will the recorded Zoom meeting be available online for later reference? Yes, I will link it to our webpage. If you go to lymangolf.com under leagues, there's a tab for Junior League. Right there, you'll see that I will link that YouTube link. I'll try to do that in the next hour, and you can utilize that for reference. Yes. If there's no more questions, that's quite fine. That means I did a heck of a job. But if you think of something down the road, feel free to email me. Feel free to utilize the chat feature on the app. Once again, the app is called PGA, MyPGA, and you'll find it in Android store, Google store, and Apple store as well. It's free. You do need to use the same credentials that you use for signing up. So if you have jdipollina@yahoo.com, but you decide to start credential with jdipollina@gmail.com, it's not going to recognize you as the parent. So you need to utilize that same email address. That's pretty important. All right. Well, thank you very much. Like I said, if you have any questions down the road, email it to me or use the chat. And we'll look forward to seeing your kids next week here about this time at the Apple 9. Thanks.